That report from DW's Melanie Kura-Debal, and she joins us from Harare with more on the story. Hi, Melanie. Good to see you. So voting is underway. This is an historic election. This is the first, as we said, without former President Robert Mugabe. How significant is this day for the people that you've been speaking to there?
Sumi, it's a very significant day for the almost 6 million voters here in Zimbabwe. I'm in Harare at one of the polling stations, and look at these queues behind me. They are massive. People have been queuing from 4 a.m. in the morning. At 7 a.m. is when the polling station opened, and people here are really excited. They feel like this is the first election that could potentially be free and transparent, and that their vote this time around will really count.
Well, Mugabe himself has hardly been seen or heard of since his ouster, but Melanie, he made a surprise appearance, as we said, in front of the cameras the night before voting, and he turned against his successor, President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Let's listen to what he said.
ZANU-PF, I can't vote for ZANU-PF. So what is there? I think it's just Chamisa.
Melanie, why are we seeing Mugabe here turn against his successor and his former ally?
Well, let's remember he did not leave the political stage voluntarily. He was ousted by the military, and now someone who once was on his side is running for president. So, of course, he is quite resentful. He's been saying there are so many names on the ballot paper, there are 23, but my name is not on it, and that is very painful. He also said that his party has become undemocratic and unconstitutional, which is quite a strong statement considering that he ruled the country in what was essentially a dictatorship for almost 4 decades.
And he's not particularly popular with a lot of people in Zimbabwe right now. Is his apparent endorsement of Nelson Chamisa going to hurt his chances?
You can actually not underestimate how much of a political sway he still has with some parts of the population. There are some people who are still supporting the ZANU-PF no matter what, but there are also some people who really supported Mugabe. And if he's the one saying that he will not vote for Mnangagwa, that could mean that those people will go out and they will vote for Chamisa. And you can tell that Mnangagwa has felt threatened by this, because yesterday he did put out a video in which he said, if you vote for Chamisa, you vote for Mugabe. So apparently he does still have a say.
Melanie, looking at these two candidates, how much can either of them actually affect change?
At least they promise change. This is what they both have been running their campaigns on, especially when it comes to the economy. But talking of the economy and the disastrous state that it is in, it is quite a difficult task to climb out of this horrifically big hole that the Mugabe era has dug. It will be a difficult task to bring the economy back on proper footing. And when it comes to other promises, Mnangagwa has been saying he's going to fight corruption, he's going to make the country a lot freer. But as you've seen in the report, and as we've said, he is one of the people who was part of the very system, who was alongside Mugabe, repressing the opposition, and who was responsible for the economy as well. And when it comes to Chamisa, he has been making big promises too, especially when it comes to the infrastructure. But he doesn't really outline how he's going to attain that goal, where he's going to take the money for that. So for both, change will be a difficult task.
And what about political stability? Will the two biggest political parties accept the results if they lose?
Difficult question, and that's also the biggest concern of the international observers that we've been speaking to and will be speaking to during the day. The opposition might not accept it if Mnangagwa wins. They have been saying throughout the entire campaign that there is rigging going on, that the election process is not as transparent as it should be. They were saying on Saturday that they are certain that there have been 1 million extra ballot papers been printed. And then we have the other concern that the military would not accept it if Chamisa won the election. And think about it. 8 months ago, they ousted the president, Mugabe, from his office, and now 8 months later, they're going to hand over the power to another party. We're not sure about that. So we'll have to see, and we'll keep on following and covering that for you.
All right, DW's Melanie Kura-Debal for us in Zimbabwe at a polling station. Thank you very much, Melanie.